This is where we're at in the second round of Thunder, and he's a lot more distressed this time. Jordan's coming out of her office now. Gets his attention. He was digging at the threshold, and there's really no other way to get him to stop doing that except for grabbing him or having a leash on him. But he'll pull against this leash. He'll choke on that flat collar. So there's really no good way of preventing him from being destructive. Can't crate him. I'm just going to go into it now. And I just have to bring a little tension. Nope, nope, nope. And he kind of shuts down when I put a little tension on the leash. He kind of plants himself. He's not cooperating here. Yeah, and he doesn't like it when I have to do that. So he kind of plants himself, but there's no other way to make him stop. So we don't really know what to do when it gets this bad. He makes it damn near impossible. Just quit it. No. Anytime he thinks I'm going to try to lead him away with the leash or pull on it, he'll kind of shut down. That's all I can really figure out to do. And I know that this is a mistake. This is wrong because it's just making it worse. But it's literally impossible until some time goes by. So yeah, we don't really know what to do. He tried to get into the bathtub and dig inside the tub. What wound up happening is I had to pick him up and bring him out of it. No. Had to bring him out of the bathtub, and I turned the shower head on, thinking that would deter him, but he wound up jumping in there with the water on anyways. And that he was going to dig, but instead of starting to dig, he kind of just wondered what the water was. It just kind of got his attention off of what he was doing. So for a while, I just ran the water over him and brushed him with that, which is mine. And he let me do that for a while. Obviously, he was still trembling. I didn't know if that was a good thing. It probably wasn't. It was probably still super uncomfortable. But, yeah. And then we wound up doing this, basically. The first thing we tried to do was in the living room when this started. I had a crate and I had a bed outside of the crate, and I just tried using string cheese, pepperonis to keep him distracted and keep him busy. But eventually the thunder got so loud, he ran into the hallway for the last time, and I wasn't able to call him back, and he started jumping on doors and scratching at the gate. He's trying to dig some more. That's all he wants to do. He wants to dig at the floor, at the threshold, at the walls. It's pretty intense, and it's pretty non-stop until enough time goes by. Maybe you can confirm to him that the storm has stopped, which sometimes I'll do by taking him outside. And if I can take him outside when the storm is actually over, and he can kind of get a feel for it, and he doesn't still feel that pressure in the air, that will kind of calm him down, and then we can kind of be done with it for the time being, right? Until it storms again, or be done for the day, right? When it's like this, I can't think of anything else to do except babysit him and keep him from destroying the house. So, yeah, that's where we're at. He used to kind of lay in the tub, but he's definitely not interested in that right now. He used to lay in the bathtub, and we could kind of get him to settle there, but that's not happening. He lost interest in the food reward, by the way, because up until a few minutes ago, I was using cheese and pepperoni, and once more thunder came, it set him off that much more, and he was no longer interested in the food anymore. Were you? You're no longer interested in the cheese. You had too much freaking cheese today. Yeah, you're gonna be freaking constipated tomorrow. And see now he's kind of interested in having me petting him, and look, I totally understand. One of my concerns is that I'm making him afraid of me when I have to handle him the way that I do. And like I said, I mean, I can't think of any other way to prevent him from, practicing this wild behavior without just grabbing him and holding on to him, or putting a leash and a collar on, because earlier I didn't have the leash and collar on. I was just using my arms to kind of restrain him whenever he would do that stuff. But I just know it makes it worse. I don't know if he perceives it to be like I'm hugging him and like coddling him, and he's feeling like his behavior is being rewarded, which I doubt it's that. I think it's just that it's just making him even more uncomfortable and stressed out that I'm putting my hands on him and jacking with him. But now he's kind of just wants me to pet him, so that's good. Yeah, so I may have said this at the beginning already, that he had his dose of trazodone and gabapentin at about 12 o'clock or 11:30, and then the first little round of thunder started at like 1, so the medicine only had like an hour or so, an hour and some change to set in. And typically with him, it seems like it's got to set in for about 2 hours before anything starts happening. Otherwise, he's going to have way too much energy to act like this, rather than if you give it a couple hours, he's a lot more sedated. He's a little easier to manage. But that was around 1 or so. And so now here we are. What time was it? It was like, when this started, about 4:30. And so the drugs have just seemed to not be active in his system by this point. And so that's kind of how he wound up just kicking into your old habits, just doing your same old shit. Yeah, just doing your same old stupid shit. Yeah, we don't really know what to do. We tried all kinds of things. Thunder jacket, really, he just wants to take it off whenever you put it on him. What else? Crating him, if you put him in a box, he's going to dig at it until he starts bleeding. So he's going to mutilate himself if you put him in a crate and shut the door on him. If you turn him loose in the rest of the house, he's just going to do this same type of stuff just all over the house. He's going to try to move furniture. It just doesn't seem like he's satisfied with anything. You can give him a bed. You can give him a place to hide. I've tried that. I've tried building him like a freaking fort, because it seemed like he just wanted to burrow up somewhere. But he's just not satisfied. He'll go in it. He'll check it out. And then he's like, yeah, nope, it's not going to do it. He's just in an endless search for something, and he'll never find it. He'll never get what he wants. Yeah, I just don't freaking know what to do anymore, except maybe try some other medications to add to the trazodone, a better combination of meds. I add a little bit of melatonin to that also, because the veterinarian told me that adding a small dose of melatonin to the trazodone and stuff seems to kind of, I guess, make it more potent. I don't really know, but that's what she recommended, so we do that. Man, I could tell some other stories. I took him on a tried taking him on a truck ride during a storm once to see if that would help. And I almost, it was a stupid idea. I figured that out real fast. But I thought, well, what if I just got on the road and just hauled ass and tried to go in the other direction? What wound up happening is I actually drove into the storm. And it had also just, I mean, being in the truck in general just did not help at all. All he did was dig at the carpet until he dug a hole in my interior carpet in the truck. So, once upon a time, for whatever reason, we were able to get him to lay down under my girlfriend's desk while she worked. But it doesn't seem like we have the ability to do that, or I should say he doesn't have the ability to do that anymore. And so we don't know how we're going to control him when I'm gone and she is having to sit at her desk and work in the middle of the day and there's a storm going on and he's being uncooperative like this. We don't know what we're going to do. We've boarded him during a bunch of storms because for whatever reason, he can go in and out outside, and the lady that runs the facility tells us that all he does is run around outside pacing. But he, and she says she doesn't think anyways that he digs a lot. She's observed him quite a bit. She doesn't think he digs at the floor or the ground a lot. They use fake turf in their outdoor area, so I mean it's not like he could dig a hole in the actual dirt or anything. She said he acts different, it seems like, if he's at a boarding facility rather than being stuck in our house, I guess. I've thought about just taking him out to the woods or out to a pasture and just trying to work him through it out there. I'm sure that's a horrible idea, but it just seems like this is an impossible scenario and we have no idea how we're gonna manage this dog when it comes to this storm phobia. So I don't know if there's much more I can say. You've seen some of the behavior here, and he's gonna lay down finally, and this is just how it goes. This is typically the way we have to handle it, is just let time do the work, and eventually he can lay down. But again, this isn't always possible. Sometimes this happens at 2 o'clock in the morning, or it happens at 11 o'clock in the morning and Jordan's working and I'm 300 miles away. But anyways, in this case, I'm off work and I'm back home for the week. And so that's all fine if this happens when I'm here, because I have the time. But anyways, I think I already told the story about the bath. He got a shower. Again, I'm sure that wasn't optimal, but he wanted in there bad enough that he was willing to let the water go on him. So I took that opportunity, I guess. And he seemed like he might have been slightly. It was distracting. I don't know. And I used that brush. Anyways. Well, I think that's about it. If anybody's got anything they can add, also I think I'm going to send this to some people, and if you got any advice, it would be greatly appreciated. He's trembling a little bit. Look, normally if we can get the drugs to him on time, that makes a huge difference. But sometimes the storms, you can't time them. Sometimes they'll just creep up on you, or you give them full dose before a storm that's early in the day, and then another storm comes later. You can't dose him anymore, otherwise you're just going to be overdosing him. Anyways, no. Yeah, that's where we're at. You know, outside of this, man, freaking great dog. Does a lot of good stuff. He knows a thing or two, but this is his freaking kryptonite, man. Anyways, I'm just gonna. No. No. Good. No. He's, you see how he'll get fixated on certain spots, like, and I know I'm probably creating this resistance because I keep stopping him from doing what he wants to do, and I feel like I'm just building this drive, but I don't know what else I can do. And I'm hovering over him, and he gets. I think he's afraid of me, No. No. And if I put a hand on him, he'll stop because he knows I'm just gonna grab him and make him. I'll let go of him. He's gonna do it again. And again, no amount of positive reinforcement seems to work once it's gone this far. Once the storm has spooked him that much, there's no amount of positive reinforcement you can use. And obviously correcting him, that's not doing anything. He's not gonna listen when I tell him no, or yank on him. And hell, I'm just doing this because it's all I can do. If he thinks I'm gonna pull him away, he just plants himself because he doesn't want to be pulled away. But I mean, I know that's not a good method, but what are you gonna do? No. I mean, am I just rewarding this behavior every time I put a hand on him, or is it some sort of deterrent? Good. Just relax, man. Just relax. I don't know what it does, what he's thinking when I'm sitting here talking to him like this. He doesn't know he's like, he doesn't know I'm making a video. He just hears me jabbering. Good boy. Oh, he's a good boy. Yeah. You just relax. Imagine if I stop, he's gonna get fixated again. They tell you not to do this. They tell you not to sit here and pet on them. It's like you're pacifying them. I don't know if it makes him more uncomfortable. I mean, he kind of looks a little relaxed, like he's pleased with it, but I mean, I'm sure it's not. I don't know. Tried to get the tripod so that I could just set this up and let it roll, but the storm beat me, and I couldn't capture everything like I wanted to. But I'll try to catch some more and film some more of this, so that we can have a better look at it, and a better look at what the dog's doing, and more importantly, what I'm doing. And yeah, I'll go ahead and stop it here. And, hopefully we'll get wound down, and maybe I can get him out of here in a little bit. Yeah.